Alright, so this isn't a live commentary, just so you know. That'll probably be the next video, because I was going to do a live commentary for this video with Jules in the background, but of course, as soon as I start recording, Jules rotates. It rotates out at like 5 o'clock, conveniently, you know, when everyone gets home and stuff, so no one can play it anymore. You know, it's really, really fantastic stuff from Brawl Stars, I have to say. Anyway, today, since my channel's actually doing pretty well for some reason, I don't really know why, people actually seem to care about what I'm thinking. Like, I'm not getting many comments or anything, but they're getting like 10 likes a video and stuff. So people are clearly enjoying me just sitting here talking about whatever I can think of. So I guess it would probably be a smart idea to further on from those topics. Now, I've always been a big fan of the quote, "Go big or go home," which essentially means that when you go into something, you have to go like all in, or else it's just like, what's the point? And I know that's a terrible way, but if all of society was like that, it would be genuinely terrible, because what's that video? It's like, you know, oh God, I hate using this video as the example, but it's genuinely the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of this, and it's just the internet brain rot has just fried me. So you know that video of like Andrew Tate where he's like, someone has to flip the burgers or whatever. Like, obviously you can go ahead and be the best chef and stuff, but most people shooting big, I imagine their final destination wouldn't be like working at McDonald's or something, for example. Obviously, people can be perfectly happy working there, but in terms of going big and doing something that only like 1% of the population get to do, like that's just not the case, because I imagine over 1% of the population, especially in the US, works in McDonald's because how many there are across the country. And if everyone was going big or go home, then society wouldn't be able to function, because yeah, we need food and stuff to survive. Although I guess people working on farms and stuff can be like world's best farmers as well, but you get the point. If all of the society was like that, it'd be pretty abysmal, and society just wouldn't be able to function as it does right now. Now, the reason I think like this, honestly, is because when you have certain opportunities presented to you, if you just go like half-arse them, then you're not going to get hired or anything, are you? You're not just going to be cast aside. So in my opinion, when you have opportunities like anything in life, it's like, how many times are you realistically actually going to do this, and how many people actually get to do this? So another example is like, you know, in the game, in the UK at least, you have the game show called the 1% Club, where at the end, if you get to the 1% question, they like ask you if you want to take 10 grand, or you want to actually go for the final question to win the prize was like 100 grand every time. Like, you've got to go for the 100 grand, because how many people get an opportunity to potentially win 100 grand? Now, yes, I know 10 grand is a lot of money, and that's why it's a stupid way of thinking, because realistically, 10 grand is life-changing money for a lot of people, including myself. But you just can't resist the opportunity. Like, how many times are you going to get to do it? It's like when you get a job that is for something that you may not 100% enjoy, but how many people get this opportunity, and how do you actually know until you try it? Like, you have to go big or go home, or else just what's the point? Like, I know it's probably just sounds like my way of coping for being like, oh, taking the safe option is so boring. Ha ha ha. But no, that's not the case at all. It genuinely, I just wouldn't be able to live with myself, because I'd just be full of regret my whole life. Like, damn it, man, I should have taken that. Especially when, like, in the 1% thing, the question shows up and it's usually easier than the 5 and 10% questions as well. Like, you have to go for it, man. You have to go for it. I know it may be gutting after you lose, but hey, at least you've tried, for example. At least you've tried, and you can go home being like, yeah, I'm glad I tried, I'll get on next time. Now, the go big or go home quote can be applied to a lot of other stuff as well. There's the phrase mastering one skill over being average at 10 skills. So mastering one skill, being average at 10 skills. Now, out of those two, it's undeniably more appealing to go for the master one skill, because not many people get the opportunity to master a specific skill. And it's just sick as well, like being able to be really good at something. Like, you can actually feel a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction with that. And you can look back and be like, damn, I'm glad I did that. Like, this is gonna be really help me in my day-to-day life, whether, for example, or it's cooking or even like a sport, because if you master one thing, you can like compete to be the very best and be like really good at it as well. And that just seems so much more appealing to me. Now, as far as YouTube, I don't have the desire to be number one, obviously, but this is something that only 1% of the population gets to do. And that's why it's so appealing. And that's why it's so bad that I haven't uploaded for like the last century, and I need to actually post some more videos. Now, of course, this isn't implying that like everyone doesn't have dreams, because of course everyone has dreams, but there's only a certain number of people that actually like go out of their way to actually pursue and strive for them. I don't know if this is like a good way to put it, but it almost seems like some people are just like slaves to the system, if that makes sense. Especially in like the Brawl Stars scene, for example. Because in the Brawl Stars scene, how many of them do you know that actually do like variety content? Not a lot. Like, they should be able to post a sponsored video on a different game and get like, if you have 1 million subscribers, you get like 300,000 views on the Brawl Stars video. they should be getting at least 100 to 200,000 on a sponsored video. Maybe not as much as the Brawl Stars, but they all get like 10 to like 30k maybe. And it's like, they're basically just slaves to the system. They're basically slaves to Supercell. They have to make content on this game and they can't branch out. So that's just the number one thing I want to avoid on YouTube, because it seems just such a just stressful cycle and just a depressing cycle of having to wake up and do something that you don't want to do that day. Because of course, Brawl Stars isn't the only thing I play, hence why I made the last thumbnail on my channel. It was about Brawl Stars, the video, and this one is as well. But I'm not going to make the thumbnail like Brawl Stars within like I did the previous two videos. And regardless, my last video got way less views than the other one, but it still got more views than my sub count, implying that there is an actual interest for people listening to what I have to say. It still got a couple likes as well, implying that there is actually already people that are willing to hear me out on this channel. And that's where I actually need to fucking get up off my arse and actually make some proper videos, because I've just been sitting here and, well, it's not I've been sitting here, I've been editing and stuff. I think when did I last record? I think it was the day before I went on my little outing, which should I talk about that actually? I'll talk about that. So I had to go to court, believe it or not. No, I didn't do anything wrong. I basically just went to support my mate who works for the local council with me about some case that, because he like operates in the sector where it's kind of like proving where people lived, for example, in relation to them like committing fraud. I'm actually not sure if I'm allowed to say that, but I didn't say anything in the court. I kind of went there and sat on the bench at the back and I just cheered him on in my mind. Obviously I couldn't just like go like clap, clap, clap doing the whole thing, because that would have not ended well, I don't think. And I don't know enough about the court in order to do that. But yeah, I had to go to the magistrate's court in Birmingham for that. And that's my first time ever going to court. And honestly, I must say this now. The Brummies, I cannot understand what they're saying whatsoever. Like, there was this guy at the security who was asking me to do something with my water bottle. And I thought he wanted me to, like, drink it to prove that there was no, like, toxic liquid in there or whatever. So I drank it in front of him and he was like, no, 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 no. And then I heard him briefly say, have you ever been here before? And I was like, no. And then he said a bunch of mumbling and then he was just sacked it off and let me through the security, which the security is kind of like airport security. Like, you put your bag in a tray, they take it through and you walk through that little thing to prove you have nothing on you. And I actually did walk through it by mistake with my Apple Watch on, which was pretty embarrassing, but we got there in the end. And then after that, after the court thing, which, by the way, the waiting around is so long. It truly is just like being at an airport pretty much. That is what the start of court is like. Like, I hate flying, and a court's not as bad because your ears aren't popped and stuff, obviously, like they are during a flight. You just kind of sit there. But I couldn't imagine being in my mate's position, standing in the little, what's it called, like a booth and reading stuff out. That sounds so stressful. Oh my God. Yeah, now I've finished uni, I guess I could go into the local council if I wanted to, because obviously I do have connections now. I spoke to a couple of the people there as I went to support, which was pretty cool. Yeah, maybe I'll get a job there in the future. I don't know. But yeah, it's only been like a month, just over a month since I've left uni, so it's really not been that long. Anyway, what was this video about again? I just went on a massive tangent. It was about go big or go home, right? Yeah, I suppose that kind of be applied here, to be honest. Like, I want to be social and help out my mate where I can, more than actually care about the legal system, because I don't know shit about the court. I still don't. I mean, I've seen it on the TV, obviously, with the guys with the wigs and all that. But being there to support my mate was more important than actually like planning out ahead of the system. Obviously, I Googled like what I have to wear and stuff. I just wore like smart business attire. I wasn't sure if it was necessary for the support, but I thought I didn't want to make a bad impression, because I've heard stories where it's like the judges will literally be able to tell just from like your facial language and stuff that who is guilty as soon as you walk in. So I was like, bro, I'm not dragging my mate down, man. I'm gonna be going in looking so smart, even smarter than him, and that's that. Yeah. End of. We are innocent. But yeah, I have sat here and spoke about I don't even know what. But the moral of the story is, in my opinion, going big or go home is a good thing that's pretty underrated, and in my opinion should be talked about more. Of course, if everyone was like that in society, it would be genuinely awful, and I don't think society would be able to function. But yeah, let me know if you took something away from whatever I just spoke about. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll try and do a live commentary when Jules are next up, and maybe I'll do a different game. That's going to be the fun thing with these thumbnails. You see, and these titles, you're not actually going to get to see what's on the videos.